none for my cola. Hello everyone! So good to see you this evening. Welcome to a new LP. It's another Winter Wolves game. I'm very fond of that company. It's the Beastmaster Princess. That chick on the left side of the screen, she looks like my friend did before she died. She is cute. And when I set up the game so there's no suggestive content. The sexy outfits are disabled. Right. So I think we'll choose to be a female. Let's start the game, shall we? Choose one. The only change will be in the love scenes description. Let's be the female. Click again on the same character to confirm. Chapter 1, Missing Prince. Wincing at its brightness, I lift my hand up to shield my eyes from the sunlight shining between barren branches. I can hardly make out Liara's silhouette. Customizing experience. In the preferences screen, you can customize the kind of content you want to see in the game. Suggestive content will determine the amount of nudity and erotic content, both art and text, during love scenes and the gallery section. Sexy outfits enables or disables more revealing outfits for all characters. By default, the explicit content is disabled. So if you're interested in it, make sure to enable it. Well, we're not going to. She leads our group and, despite her small stature, her half-elf blood and swiftness have always made her pace quicker than anyone else's. It's so bright, I'm almost looking forward to getting deeper into the forest. Liara doesn't acknowledge my comment. She's too focused on the task at hand. Instead, when she speaks, it's to voice a bit of wisdom that she's picked up on over the years. There'll be less snow on the ground if we take the path leading away from the mountains. Though Liara is fast, I still try to keep up with her since I feel obligated to keep an eye on her. I have ever since I first laid eyes on her. My father, Gora, had returned from the desert with a small child in his arms, a tiny thing. She was thirsty and hungry, her naturally pale skin burned red with the exception of her face. My father told me that when they found her, she was coiled up trying to cover her face with her little hands. She probably should have died out there on her own. The shaman had cured her said as much. They were surprised that she'd been able to pull through, even with the aid provided. That told me everything I needed to know. Liara was a born warrior ready to fight for her life. We don't know her exact age, but the shaman said it was probably only a few months old when she was left in the desert. By who and why as always remains a mystery. Regardless, I've always felt protective of her, as if it's my duty to make sure that no one hurts her again. She'd already been through enough by the time I met her. She doesn't seem to need to suffer anymore. Of course, as much as I want to keep her safe, I know that she probably doesn't need my protection. She knows how to use more weapons than I do, and she wields them with lethal speed. We'll have to see where the hunt takes us. We already know where the hunt has taken you, Liara. What do you mean by that? Luna doesn't chime in that much, but she casts a small smile in my direction, and I instantly know what she's getting at. Though she's slightly older than Liara and myself, and has the impressive reputation of being the most gifted shaman in the Desert Snakes tribe, she isn't above joking around. Oh, you know, the other kind of hunt. I don't think I follow. The hunt that's taken you right into the arms of Prince Merrill. Hey, that's not funny. Luna laughs and runs a few paces ahead of us while Liara indignantly chases after her. Watching her dash ahead makes me all the happier to be out hunting. The upcoming marriage is all busier than usual, so being this free feels good. It feels normal. As a child of Goro, chief of the desert snakes, I can't let them get too far ahead. My role in the group is to keep them safe. You don't need to be embarrassed about it. I don't like talking about it. He's your fiancé, although I do wish he was a bit younger. Trust me, I wish that even more than you do. Well, Merrill is an elf. I'm sure he's still quite handsome, even if he is a fair bit older than any of us. I know it's just uncomfortable. It'd be one thing if I had actual feelings for him, but this is only a marriage of convenience. Even so, it's important to have an alliance with him and his people. The elves of Grand Tria are a force to be reckoned with. It's definitely better to have them as allies. Yeah. Besides, aren't you curious to finally see Grand Tree? If I recall correctly, you've wanted to go there since you were a child. Of course, it's only natural. I'd be curious to see the other half of my culture. But if the only way I can do that is through marriage... It was my understanding that Liara had come to the decision to marry Merrill herself. If that's not actually the case, I need to know. This is what you want, right? No one is forcing you to do this. No, of course not. Chief Goro has already asked about what sort of thing too, several times. I'm fine with it, really. I was even excited about it at first. But as if the wedding date gets closer, I'm starting to have all kinds of second thoughts. It's perfectly normal to be scared, Liara. It's a big change going from the desert to the forest. You let us visit you when you're settled into your home, right? I'm imagining a big mansion with servants, surrounded by flowers and green trees, singing birds. I'm going to stop you there, Luna. We'll probably end up living in a Triberg, so in town. The house will be nice and big, I'm sure, but it won't be anything like what you're describing. Triberg, it seems so far away from here, as if it's on a completely different world. Yeah, it's pretty far. The three of us settled into silence, none of us wanting to bring up the implication of those words. I'll certainly miss the hour, I know Luna will too. Luna is another of my childhood friends. Even though we grew up together, we chose different paths. I ended up specialising in melee combat, while she studied to become a shaman. I suppose it was only natural. Even as a child, she was curious about herbs and their effects. I found that kind of stuff boring, but she was the opposite. She was fascinated. For her, it was like uncovering the inner magic present in every little thing. I can sort of see the appeal nowadays, but I'll never match her enthusiasm for it. The way she uses what nature has to offer to create things, like the lotion she prepares for Liara to keep her skin from blistering in the desert sun, is simply miraculous. I stop suddenly and signal the others when I see a flicker of movement in the trees. I narrow my eyes and look closer. There, I see a boar. That'd be perfect for the engagement feast. It's a huge one. It is. Let's approach quietly. Liara and Luna both nod. But the moment I take a step forward towards the boar, it dashes away and heads uphill. Darn, he's got a sharp sense of hearing. We'll have to take to the mountain trail if we're going to follow. The boar's headed towards Missal's Folly. Missal's Folly? That's an odd name. Why is it called that? Apparently a brave but foolish paladin named Missal chased a group of demons up that mountain and ended up dying there. That's unfortunate. And kind of feels like a warning not to go after the boar. We're not chasing demons, so it should be fine, probably. That area is near our territory's border. I haven't been there that many times, and it's heavily forested. It might not be easy to get lost. Following it could lead to trouble. Do you want to pursue it, or should we head backwards instead? Come on. It's just a forest nearby a mountain. Nothing to be scared of. Easy for you to say since you're a half-elf. That has nothing to do with it. I say we chase the boar and finish what we started. I know that Liara wants to impress the other nomads, my father in particular. A big boar like that will definitely do the job. On the other hand, it's getting cold and dark, and going up through those mountains looks dangerous. Kunya, what do you want to do? Let's chase the boar. It's fine, let's go, but move quickly and quietly. Don't forget carefully. We're going to be between the mountains in no time. Watch out for ice on the rocky parts of the trail. Got it. We'll be cautious. We try not to speak much as we pursue the boar. Then once we have it in the sights, we look forward toward Lara. She nods. Stay back, I'll take it out with one hit. Sure enough, Lara moves gracefully and swiftly, getting close to the boar. By the time the creature realizes her presence, she is already poised to finish it off with a single blow. Liara ends the creature and it topples to the ground with a loud thud. Perfect, good job, Liara. Indeed, very impressive. Merrill will have to make sure he never gets on your bad side. The praise isn't necessary. It wasn't that hard, alright? It was strange though, almost as if I could hear his thoughts. Please don't start with this again. I'm not doing it on purpose, it's just what happens. I almost refrained from killing him because of it. But I know we need the meat. We do. And this one kill would be enough to feed everyone at the camp. And I suppose it's worth it. It is. I agree, but I'm afraid our hunters caused us to stray too far from home to make it back today. We should set up camp then. We can prep the boar and rest for the night. Luckily for us, it doesn't take long to find a cavern and start a fire with the help of Luna's shaman abilities. Well, now that we've got a fire, I'm going to look around the area a bit to make sure it's safe for us here. It'll give me a chance to gather some herbs too. You want to look for herbs now? There are some plants, mushrooms and flowers that can only be picked at night if you intend to use them in potions. I'll take a torch with me, don't worry. This isn't the first time I've done this. Do you want us to come with you? No, it's alright, I'll be fine on my own. Are you sure? It's pretty cold out there right now. Honestly, it's pretty cold outside the cave, inside the cave too, even with the fire going. I have a potion that will keep me warm until tomorrow morning. I didn't think to bring more than one though. That's disappointing. I would have appreciated having a potion like that right now. I'm sorry, you two should stay here, keep warm. Alright, be careful out there. Luna's so lucky to be able to make potions like that. I'm gonna freeze here. But the heat works best for keeping warm. That sounds so dirty. It helps. If we both stay under the pouch, it shouldn't be too bad, I suppose. At least you're small. Sharing shouldn't be too bad. Here, come on under. As she walks over, I found myself noticing how much she's grown, especially in the last few years. She isn't as short as an average child anymore. She's a young woman with a thin but mature frame to match. Of course, with her marriage to Merrill on the horizon, now isn't that exactly an ideal time to notice how much she's developed. Why are you staring at me? Don't you dare make fun of me. It's fine, you're cute, just a little miniature. Liara responds by lightly elbowing my side. A cold hand then settles on my leg, making me jump. Geez, your hand is freezing. I can't help it. It's cold. Here, let me see your hands. With Liara's half-elf blood, her hands are small enough to fit comfortably between mine. I pick up both her hands and press them together between my own. I'll warm you up. Thank you. How do your hands stay so warm? They just don't get cold too easily. Once her hands are warmed up, she gently pulls them away and nuzzles up against me. She makes it clear that she isn't warm, since she keeps readjusting to get closer and inadvertently rubs against me. So close for an engaged girl. Enough! Haven't I been teased enough today? I'm just cold. I put my arm around her and pull her closer. It's easier not to think of her being taken away by someone else when we are so physically close. It's fine, just get some rest. We'll get back to the village bright and early tomorrow. Liara falls asleep with her head resting against my shoulder and stays like that for much of the night. But I'm restless. I'm worried about Luna and where she is, of course. but also worried about getting back tomorrow without kill. I just can't sleep. I roll and jerk the pouch with me. I blink as I realise that I have it all to myself. Rolling over, I see Liara. Even asleep on her belly, she's enchanting. Bloop, 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 bloop. Romance! Certain choices will increase other characters' relationship with you. To unlock a specific character's then you need to have at least 80 relationship points and trigger the love scene. Oh my lord. Even with the curves she's developed, she's cute. There's something so pure about her. Her pointed ears poke through her hair and her lips purse as she dreams. Yep. She's unique, her pale skin. What the hell? She's unique, her pale skin and white hair, her beauty that shifts like sunlight, cute to beautiful and back again and again. She's so innocent. I stroke her hair, caressing. She has so much to look forward to in life. She's going to do great things, I'm sure of it. Right now, she's the girl I've known my whole life, more than my best friend. Leaning forward, I kiss her temple. Her nose wrinkles in that cute way it does when she's thinking about something. I pull the pouch back over her, covering her legs, her body, all the way up and over her shoulders. I can't believe you're leaving us to get married. Of course she doesn't answer, but the sadness spreads through my head. I'm sure he's a good man, but I'm going to miss her constantly. The world will be a little less bright without Liara around. Liara mumbles something softly, then turns her head facing away as she clutches the pouch tighter. I kiss the top of her head again and settle in, letting sleep take me. Once morning comes, we set out with the boar and make the trip back to the desert snake's village. As soon as we get back, one of my father's messengers hurries towards our group. Kunya, Lyra, an elf diplomat, Yenia wishes to see you immediately. Is something wrong? Please follow me. She wishes to speak with you both in person. Can you help me bring the boar to the villagers first? Sure. We leave the boar with a few of the villagers preparing for the feast and have the messenger lead us to where the elf diplomat is staying. The messenger escorts to her, then bows and steps back once we arrive. Luna also politely steps aside, leaving only Laura and me to meet with the diplomat. Good morning, my name is Kunya. I'm the child of Chief Goro. I'm Liara. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am Nienia, a diplomat here on behalf of Merrill. Did something happen on the way to the village? I can't help but notice the bandages on your hands. Yes, unfortunately, our caravan was attacked by bandits. It's terrible. Chief Goro is very worried. The attack was severe. Many of our guards were killed and, worst of all, Merrill is currently missing. Do we need to send out a search party for him? Maybe we can still track the bandits. Chief Goro has already sent a few of his warriors and our remaining soldiers out to look. I see. Is there anything else we can do? For now, we can only wait. After saying goodbye to Lienia, Liara and I exit her room wearing similar somber expressions. Neither of us really wants to meet Merrill, but we also don't want anything to go horribly wrong with the Alliance. And now that people are dead, it's worse than I would have imagined. Since we're back in the village and surviving ours are being taken care of, we set out to find Takara and Manila. Finding them turns out to be easier than expected since Shane has gathered a group of male and female nomads around him. What is that bastard up to now? I keep my voice low and mutter the question as we get close enough to hear what they were saying. Nothing good, I'm sure. Don't let him rile you up, you two. It's never worth it. Really should be telling that to Takara, because at that moment we can overhear her loudly state her claim. Takara is explosive in every possible way. She has a reputation amongst the tribe for being hot-headed, so it's no surprise that she's talking the loudest out of everyone here. She's more than just words though. Takara is a warrior like me, but she uses a sword and shield and specialises in defence and counterattacks on brute force. She claims that that's the best techniques to use when fighting at close range. After all, it's what famous gladiators from the arenas around Avalon do. I'm not sure that she's right about that, but I've seen her in combat enough to know that she knows what she's doing. Sometimes we joke that she must have come to our tribe directly from Dingira, perhaps using one of their famous teleporting portals. No matter what, Takara is a selfless and loyal friend, always willing to put the well-being of her friends in the tribe before anything. This is all nonsense. I value my tribe and I honour above all else, but even I find this conversation to be a waste of time. With Laura's marriage to that pretty elf, Chief Goro is going to favour her and Kunya. Ridiculous! If Laura and Kunya are chosen, it'll be because they have earned it based on merit and valour. A chief is supposed to accomplish legendary feats for the benefit of the tribe. I haven't seen them do anything all that grand. Manila is far more level-headed than Takara, with her added years of experience, but she jumps into the conversation before Takara has the chance to yell anything else at Shane. Even though I don't know her as well as the others, I always respected Manila envelopes. She taught me a lot about fighting. She's a veteran and, even if she doesn't like to talk much about her past, I believe that she has travelled a lot and seen many things. There are rumours that she travelled all over Aravorn years ago to learn new fighting techniques from various masters. I have yet to find a good moment to ask her if that's true, since she's always quiet and off on her own. I do know this for sure though, you don't want to cross her path on the battlefield. Both Kunya and Liara are still young. There's ample time for them to prove themselves before the next clan chief is chosen. But Liara isn't even a true nomad. She's just a half-elf orphan that Chief Goro was kind enough to pick up when she was abandoned in the desert. Exactly! Can you defend that? She doesn't truly belong to the clan. Lorik Sane's best friend, or perhaps something more, looks at him with admiration. Shane's right. She's never been one of us. It's not her fault, of course, but it is a fact. You cannot deny who she is. Liara's gaze falls to the ground and I step forward, making my presence known as I stand directly across from Shane. You're going too far saying things like that. If Chief Goro adopted her, then the rest of the tribe should respect that as well. What Chief Goro did was a noble act, an act of charity. That doesn't mean that we all have to agree with it. But Shane, you didn't object to the marriage, right? If Liara is to be used to gain our tribe an enormous advantage, then everything is fine. Two birds with one stone. She leaves us, returning to her kind, mind you, and we get political advantage out of it. Of course I'm okay with the marriage. Shane starts to laugh, followed by Lorik and the rest of his gang. I am furious at them, but Liara is even angrier after hearing their laughing. You bastard! I knew you wouldn't miss me. Just know that sentiment is reciprocated. Manila holds Liara in place with a strong arm. Things are getting heated. A nomad from the other group steps forward and shakes her head. This is not the proper time for this discussion. There'll be no marriage if we don't find Prince Merrill. Several nomad scouts are already out looking for the bandits while you waste your time with this. Is that so? Then my men and I should depart as well. No. We would welcome more people out searching. Let's make it a challenge then to see who's superior. I have no doubt that my men and I will find the bandits first. Come on, Lorik, let's go. Yes, this should be fun. You're not taking this very seriously. This isn't an opportunity for you to prove you're all so strong. It's a serious search. Of course it is, but I don't see why it can't be both. Are you going to help Kunya, or will you sit here and wait for someone else to be the hero? I'll find them in a fraction of the time it'd take you. The argument is interrupted when Chief Goro approaches us. Even Shane, with his obnoxious amount of bravado, falls silent immediately at the chief's appearance. Kunya, Laaro, run out of medicinal herbs for treating our elven visitors. That's not good, we need to gather more while the sun is still out. Indeed, I am setting out to search for more, but I'd like a few others to accompany me. I'll go, I've got a good eye, I'll recognise the plants. I'd be happy to join in as well. Manila and I have been preparing to hunt the bandits. We'd like to continue with that goal in mind. Finding the herbs and Prince Meros is equal importance. Please go ahead. Bo-Katan and Manila nod as my father turns towards me. Kunya, I would be glad to have you join our search. However, if you want to prove something, I will not object to you joining the bandit hunt. Will you accompany me gathering herbs or join the hunt? Help your father. There isn't much time. There isn't much we need to prepare before setting out. There are a few extra things I'd like to do before we leave, like giving Shane another piece of my mind, but the trip takes priority, so I focus on that. We're going to head towards the Kragmar Mountains. That's so far though. It is, but that's the only place where the herbs we need grow. Luna, will you lead the way? Of course. I know the walk will take several hours, but we keep the conversation light, pointedly not bringing up the conflict in town. I'm starting to think it will be a small talk for the entire trip until we stop at a brief break and my father pulls me aside. Up there. Sorry, I got a bit of technical difficulties at the moment. Not at all. Me a short distance away from the others as we sit down on some of the large rocks rising along the path. I'm just going to check that it's recording properly through that technical issue. It leaves me a short distance away from the others and we sit down on some of the large rocks rising up along the path. There are several things worrying me in addition to the state of our visitors. Their injuries didn't seem... Sorry. Their injuries didn't seem too severe. I'm sure they'll be able to hold on until we have the herbs, and once the treatment starts, they'll heal quickly. We can only hope so. However, Prince Merrill, that's definitely a problem. His disappearance means trouble for Leora and the village as a whole. The alliance is vital for the future safety of the tribe. I know. You wouldn't have arranged the marriage if it wasn't. Not all the other villagers agree, though. I frown and drop my gaze to the ground. I'm all too aware of that, but I hope my father hadn't heard. You heard Shane and the others arguing? I did. There are several internal factions in the Desert Snakes who do not agree with the alliance. More than just him. Unfortunately so. That young man was right that my successor will need to prove his or her worth with facts and accomplishments, not just a marriage. I know, father. But regardless of who becomes the next chief, being on good terms with Grantry and the Owls is vital for our survival as a tribe. But people just don't see it that way. Do you think Shane could have something to do with the bandit assault? That boy is definitely eager to speak his mind, but I do not know if he would go that far. It'd be a solid way for him to sabotage the marriage, though. Even so, he couldn't have known that the prince was in that caravan. It looked perfectly ordinary on the outside. He'd be reckless enough to do something like that, though. My father shakes his head in somber disagreement. He's always been one to see the best in people and reserve judgment until he has evidence. Shane would have to be in contact with the Owls prior. No one in his family took part in the negotiations. It may be violent, but it's unlikely. Can't we at least investigate? We don't have any other leads. He did cause a scene earlier, but I've got sent several groups of scouts. Those bandits cannot escape a group of nomads hunting in their own territory. True. It's just difficult waiting. I know, my child, I feel the same. Despite the serious conversation, it smiles back and gives me a fatherly pat on the shoulder as we start walking back to the others. I didn't raise you to be very patient now, did I? I suppose not. I return the smile as we join the others. We follow Luna to where the herbs grow. The remainder of the trip feels like it goes faster, and it isn't long until we're all on our knees picking the herbs. Be careful when you gather that one with the purple leaves. Oh, what's that? It tends to grow near briar bushes. You've probably seen them beforehand, but it's still good to be cautious. Right. How about that big plant over there, the one with really dark green leaves? Is that one of them? No, the shorter one beside it is one of the ones we'll need though. I don't know how you keep track of all these different plants. I feel lucky to have a plant friend who's so knowledgeable about medicinal herbs. This would be nearly impossible without her. I reach for the plant at the same time Luna does. Our hands end up brushing together as we both reach for the same stem. Oh, she pulls back quickly and looks away. Ah, sorry. Oh no, it's fine, I was just surprised. She's quiet after that. I would have expected her to start talking and once we began walking home, but her silence ends up being more persistent. It wasn't that embarrassing, was it? Still, her shyness is kind of endearing, though she probably wouldn't like me thinking that. Once we're back at the village, Takara and Manila come running towards us. Kunya, Chief Goro, what's wrong? Did something happen? We found the bandits. Was the prince with them? No, unfortunately not. The bandits were dark elves. This is terrible. They must have moved fast to have gotten Prince Merrill away so quickly. We got rid of the elves remaining in their camp, but there weren't many left. I must inform our surviving visitors. Liena must know the news. Takara and Manila both nod grimly. Luna and Lyra go with my father to help the wounded, leaving me alone with Takara and Manila. They lead me away from the others. Kunya, there's something else. What? Could this mess possibly get worse? Unfortunately, it can. We were interrogating the Dark Elf survivor to try and get information from him, but then Shane intervened, meaning? He came out of nowhere and killed the elf right when he was about to tell us something. That bastard! We didn't get any useful information out of them. It sounded like the elf's last word was something about betrayal. Could they have been talking about someone in our tribe? Maybe someone from here leaked the information about the alliance to them somehow. We can't trust anyone at this point. I certainly don't trust Shane. We need to keep an eye on him. He's arrogant and violent. It just makes him even more suspicious. Agreed. We'll be careful around him. We've got to be careful about where we discuss this. Sane's lackeys are better at eavesdropping than you think. Right, we can't trust his men either. We're all sitting around the campfire waiting for Chief Goro to show up. Takara looks nervous, constantly tapping her foot on the ground. Liara eventually puts a hand on her leg to stop her from doing it. Takara, please, you're making me nervous too. For a second it looks like Takara's about to snap at her, but when her gaze meets Liara, she calms down just a little. Even her hot-headed nature can't convince Takara that Liara is their enemy. I never like it when the Chief Goro calls for a council meeting. But don't you want to be the person calling those meetings? Takara wrinkles her nose at the thought and shakes her head. If I do end up being chief, I won't call so many damn meetings. Too bad it's necessary right now. I wait as the tribe elders and the most esteemed warriors gather around the campfire, accompanied by a number of my father's advisors. I sit with my friends. We pointedly pick a spot opposite Shane and his accomplices, putting much more distance between us than them as possible. Everyone's so anxious you can almost feel it in the air. I know, this is the worst gathering we've had in a while. Discussions get hushed as everyone waits for the chief to arrive. When my father finally appears and approaches the spot that is reserved for him, all the tribesmen fall silent. Our elven visitors are recovering and sleeping in their tents. They are expected to make a full recovery. That's good news. Indeed. However, since Prince Merrill went missing while on our land, it is our duty to find him. Wait, Hyberia is coming. We have more important things to do than run around looking for a missing elf. We must find the prince. We need to hunt and stock provisions for the winter. All the animals will be hibernating soon. We also have an obligation to help the elves. Shane looks at her, glowering with disapproval. As much as I sympathise with Laura, it doesn't look good for the only half-elf member of the tribe to vouch for the elves. I'm worried this is going to divide our people even more, but both tests are possible, right? Not starving is more important than some alliance. I'm aware of the urgent matters our people face. Scarcity of food is nothing to take lightly. There is also an incoming sandstorm that we must prepare for. Whatever is decided cannot happen until it passes. That will take several days. We should escort the surviving elves. My father nods solemnly and lifts his hands as he addresses the group. We must decide our course of action, but I wish to consult the elders, advisors, and warriors. Thus we will vote. Please step forward closer to the fire if you believe we should search for Prince Merrill. Step away if you feel we should escort the elves to Grandtree. I watched as some of the elders and warriors vote to search for the prince, while a good number of others prioritise their own survival. I guess I have to come to a decision as well. Both isn't an option in this particular scenario. My stomach sinks as I watch the vote become evenly split, leaving me as the last person to cast my vote. Escort the album survivors to Grandtree. If that is the wish of the tribe, then it is what we will do. Prepare your rations and be ready to leave once the sandstorm passes. We've got to put our own people first. We don't have time to help everyone. It seems like we're agreeing for once. The thought of being in agreement with Shane makes me mentally gag. But the choice isn't about him, it's about my fellow tribesmen. We will need our finest warriors to protect the elves on the trip. I'll be happy to go along. Several others also volunteer their services and, once enough was spoken, my father nods approvingly. I will speak with the elves tonight and prepare the escort. For now, rest and prepare. La la la. As the others dissipate, I walk over to my father. I wish it hadn't come down to me. Your voice is important to the tribe. As you are a contender for the next chief, it is good for the people to see where your priorities lie. Then you're not too upset. It sounded like you really wanted to look for Merrill. It is the chief's duty to carry out the will of the people. If the majority wants to simply escort the elves back to the Grandtree, then that is what we will do. I'll be sure to start preparing first thing in the morning. Indeed, be careful on your journey. Watch the ones who travel with you as much as you watch the environment around you. What do you mean, Shane? This is more about just people who you do not get along with. You cannot trust anyone, even those who are very close to you. This situation is like walking along the edge of a cliff. I want to protest as soon as I realised he was talking about my friends, but I silenced myself and tried to hide the shock on my face. I would trust my friends with my life, though. I'm safe with them. My father shakes his head slowly. I know you wish to believe that. However, you must remember that people would do anything for power, profit and freedom. If the prize is great enough, even friends could compromise their morals. I'll be careful, but I don't really suspect him at anything. Remember my warning and go forth with care. I understand, I will. I stare at the fire. The night is still young and I feel like my friends want to talk with me. I take a moment to look at each of them. Liara, she looks so small, but I know that she can be deadly if she needs to be. And I think of how she was bullied by the other nomads because of her thin bust. It's only a superstition, I'm sure. Breast size has nothing to do with the ability of a woman to feed children. And yet, for us nomads, it's always been a reason for shame. Luna definitely doesn't have this problem. Her breasts, well, let's say that it's not hard to look at them whenever you're close to her. I try my best, but it's not always easy. Of course, that's not the reason why I admire Luna. She's skilled, and as a matter of fact, she's the person everyone in the camp looks for when they feel sick or are injured. It's like she's taking care of all of us. Takara is busy checking her equipment, as she often is. It's like she's obsessed with it, always keeping her sword clean, always double checking the shield. Sometimes I'm a bit envious of the simple objects when she takes so much of Takara's time. I wonder how it'd be to be a sword in her hands, hands that can kill you, but hands that can also caress you tenderly. I can't help but notice how meticulously she applies the oils that Luna prepared for her to make the sword cut better. Lastly, I turn my head and see manila envelopes. She is staring at the fire like I was doing a few minutes ago. Then she raises her gaze and stares directly at me. I manage to give her a faint smile before looking elsewhere. She can be a bit intimidating sometimes, but not in a bad way. I wonder how it'd be in a relationship with such a strong woman, one who has seen so many things and has so much experience. Relationship bar. Under every character that can be romantic, you'll see a hearts bar. Relationship value. Increasing that value will unlock the final romance scenes for the love interests. Oh my lord. La 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 la. And I spot Luna. She is busy preparing several potions and other concoctions for our next mission. She murmurs to herself as she works, listing off ingredients. Hey Luna, are you busy? Without warning, she turns around and suddenly holds out a bottle of viscous liquid. Does this seem like it's greasy or lubricating enough to you? What? It looks like goop. Never mind, can you help me with something? Just came to see how we were doing. Your verdict? I'm not too surprised when she keeps her responses to just a few words. It isn't too odd for her, since she tends to be quiet at times. You seem really busy preparing. It's like you're always a million steps ahead of everyone, almost like a mum. I smile as I say it, hoping she'll appreciate the joke. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Now say that 5 times fast. Crap. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Proper preparation prefaces poor performance. Proper premeditation prevents poor performance. Oh, darn it. That was all wrong. Oh dear, wow. That got a bit off target. I blush a little as the silence dragged out a moment. I cleared my throat. Ha. Well, the idea makes sense at least. You've usually got the solution to a problem before the problem even happens. She smiles a little bit, but is brief and she lets out a sigh. Indeed, I feel a deep unease concerning the mission that awaits us. Why, you seem more than ready. I will be the only healer on the journey. All the others are too old to travel with the apprentice, and the apprentices are too inexperienced. I must be prepared for anything. It's good to be prepared, but I'm sure everything will go alright. I suppose, can you ask your advice on something? Of course, what's up? I want to take these ingredients with me for potions we might need on a mission, but the village might need them too. I can always use my magic to heal, so would it be selfish to take the surprise anyway? What should I do? Suggest leaving the potions behind. It's a tough choice, but I think leaving behind some behind would be good. That way they don't need to worry about making more potions or remedies. I was thinking the same. How much and what kinds though? Probably just a few general healing potions, I guess. For the most powerful warriors on the move, it will be mostly the beginners or weaker guards using them. They might get hurt easier, but I don't think they'll be put in situations where they could sustain serious injuries. I'll have to think it through some more, but thank you for your advice, Kun. I didn't really think I was good enough to support the whole team on my own. You'll do fine, better than fine, like you said. We've got your magic to rely on. Thank you, I'll do my best. I don't think we've had to worry about anything to worry about with you travelling with us. You've always been really helpful on our hunting trips in the past. I appreciate that. You do tend to hurt yourself a lot though. Nah, not that often. I don't know, I feel like I've had my hands on you more than anyone else. I arch an eyebrow at her. Say that again, Luna. She stares at me at a moment's silence, evidently thinking on her words. Then her face goes bright red. Don't make that sound dirty. You're the one talking about putting your hands on someone a lot. Only because I have to heal you or bandage your injuries. I laugh and put my hand on her shoulder. I enjoy seeing her so much more indignant than she would usually get. Relax and joking. Such a dirty joke. You set yourself up for it. Said it's supposed to be part of planning. She shakes her head as she returns to work. I suppose not this time. Seems so. I need to finish this before it gets too late. Okay, just let me know if you need help. I should be fine. She is silent for a long moment, and so I start to step away, but I stop when I hear her soft voice again. Thank you, Kun Kun. The nickname sounds silly, but now she's the one catching me off guard. I feel my cheeks heating up a little bit. No problem, Luna. Liara. I'm gonna walk over to her. Liara is anxiously fiddling with the braid in her hair. She keeps rebraiding the very end of it and adjusting the tie she uses to keep it fastened in place. The silvery hair always looks incredibly bright, regardless of if it's day or night. Hey, you alright? You look worried. I'm fine, I'm just worried about this whole mess. I'm sure it will turn out alright for the tribe. This is about more than just us though. We're playing with a group that could either be powerful ally or powerful enemy. What happened is hardly our fault. What if they don't see it that way? If the owls were really worried, they would have asked us to provide an escort in the first place. Subtlety wasn't a bad idea, it just didn't work out this time. Well, it's like you said, they're a powerful race. They could have spared more than enough soldiers to protect the prince if they thought we were going to try anything. I know, but we're walking a diplomatic tightrope. You're not wrong, of course, but worrying isn't going to change what's happened. Even so, we don't know if Prince Merrill is alive right now. You're that concerned about him? I'd be concerned if anyone was missing and possibly dead. Reassure her about the prince. Prince Merrill isn't made of glass, he should be fine. We don't know that. He's a prince. He could have pampered his whole life and he might not know the first thing about real fighting. I doubt an elven prince would be defenceless. I suppose, but for all we know, he could be talking about a dead man right now. I can tell she's nervous, so I'll try to say my strength with her without accepting any compromise. I just have to play on the logical side of her brain. The bandits don't have any reason to kill him. You sound far too confident. This sounds harsh, but he's more valuable as a hostage than a dead man. If they wanted to kill them, they would have done it when they attacked the caravan. His body would be hidden somewhere. We didn't have time to fully comb the area. They aren't exactly going to carry him around in the desert like a sack of potatoes. Liara's expression is still serious, but it softens a little bit into one of skepticism when she hears my choice of words. A sack of potatoes, a sack of potatoes, that's exactly right. The ghost of a smile pulls at her lips as she shakes her head. Well, I don't know if I really believe you or not, but I suppose you distracted me at least. I reach out and pat her hand. I pat her head, but she's quick to swat my hand away. Hey, none of that head patting. Oh, we're not. Head pat denied. She shakes her head and she steps back, out of arm's reach. I struggle not to show the pain of soft rejection. I patted your head since you were little. I'd like to remind you I'm not little anymore. This time she gives me a proper smile that makes her face look gentler and more elegant. She then draws closer once more to give me a brief good-night hug. We both need rest though. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to head to bed soon. Good night. See you in the morning. Chapter 2, Grand Tree. I wake up to light shining through my eyelids. Looking around after rubbing my eyes and yawning, I see Liara speaking with some of the owls. She smiles at me and comes closer. Making new friends? Something like that. I was talking about elven culture. You know, so I can make a good first impression when I meet Merrill. You still think? I know we'll find him, I'm sure of it. Can I ask you something, Lara? Yes? You change your mind about this marriage a lot. First you're enthusiastic, then afraid, then scared, then worried about Merrill, then... Kunya, first of all, I'd be worried about Merrill even if I wasn't going to marry him. You think I'd ever be at peace with someone getting kidnapped in our territory? You're right, sorry. And it's not like I don't understand the rest to some extent. How can you marry someone that you've never seen before? What if he's not the right person? First of all, we're not going to be married instantly. The plan is to spend at least a week in Grand Tree first. Ooh, a whole week. I take everything back then. In such a large amount of time, I'm sure you'll learn all you need to know about Merrill. Ha ha, very funny. On to my second point. I only agreed to marry Merrill once I was assured it would be an open marriage. Ooh, what? It's pretty common among us owls to have more than one partner. Really? Yes, I thought you knew that. No, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. Of course, both partners must agree to it, but that aside, there's nothing to worry about. See those three owls? Yes. The one in the middle is the wife of the one on the right. The one on the left, well, he's with both of them, often at the same time. At first, I'm a little confused. Then once I realise what Liara really means, I blush furiously and look away. This is too much. Are the owls really so open-minded? Is that what you were talking about with them? Silly, no. I was asking them about the kind of clothes I should wear once I'm living with Meryl, the food we'll eat, and so on. Nothing so naughty. I see. Wow. I'd be lying to say that I'm not shocked by those elven traditions you just told me about. Well, now you know. If Meryl turns out to be a boring man, I can always find a way to spice up the marriage. With those words, Lyra runs away and I shake my head at her immature behaviour. Then I see my father talking animatedly with Luna. Clearly there's a lot of emotion going on, and considering it's Luna, I walk over to join in and see Manella do the same. What's going on? Yeah, anything you should be on guard about? Luna looks at us to see her calm. I see her calmer, a little despite her excitement. One of the owls mentioned that they were carrying more than the prince in the caravan. There was a box of precious reagents and ingredients. My father rubs his jaw. Now that more of us are involved, he has more to consider. But he's always making difficult decisions, so what's the problem? Well, that's a good thing, right? I spoke with the elf alchemist. When the dark elves attacked, he ran away and managed to hide the box under the sand. So it's not with him? No, but it should still be where he hid it, in the remains of a giant rhino, specifically in its skull. It'll be easy to recover. It's not far from the village either. That's good to know. The elf alchemist said that if I manage to recover it, I can keep all of its contents. We're on time with the preparations to leave, but this is a distraction, and we do have to worry about the sandstorm coming here, as everyone here has been reminded. Once the sandstorm arrives, it will get lost. We know that. I know it is approaching quickly, but I can get it. I'm sure of it. Please, Chief Goro, has so much we could use. I'm not sure. I worry about losing you in the storm, Luna. That'd be a loss we can't take. I can handle it. It's not far. It will be fast. Just between me and Manila, hopefully. I'm going to agree with Chief Goro. Sorry, Luna, we can't take any risks. But I told you there's no risk, and I have plenty of time to go there and get back before the sandstorm reaches this area. What if there's wild beasts? What if you encounter bandits? What if there's more dark owls show up? Have you thought about those possibilities? I'll be careful, and if I see any danger, I'll just head back. I won't take any unnecessary risk, but it's worth giving this a shot. It would save me many hours of gathering. Really? Yes, also I could try to make new potions with some of those ingredients. They are very valuable. You're more valuable than any ingredient, Luna. Luna smiles and blushes slightly at Manila's compliment, but then that determined look she previously wore returns to her face. Thanks, but what are we doing? I'll come with them. I'm coming with you. I can protect you from any trouble we encounter, and together we can get back before the storm hits. See, we can manage it. My father looks between us and gives in. He waves his hand, bidding us off. Mother speaks with them about something Luna and I can't hear, but that's fine. We have plenty to do without worrying about what they're saying. After thanking me, Luna doesn't talk much. She's quiet as ever. I help her through some rough terrain, holding her hand as I guide her over some rocks and to a lower basin. I even pick her up when I see some thorns, so we don't risk minor injuries. Each time Luna thanks me, I notice her hands linger a little. Soon enough we find the box, exactly where it's supposed to be. We need to get back as soon as possible. We can check it there. Luna either ignores me or doesn't hear me. As soon as she grabs the box, she sets it on her lap and opens it. After going through a few things, she flashes me an excited smile. It's worth the extra seconds to check, Kunkan. There wouldn't be any point in dragging the box over everything if it was empty. Luckily, it's all here. I guess you're right now. Let's go back before the weather gets bad. I don't want you to get stuck out here, even with you. We'll hurry back to the village. I can tell Luna's eager to get her hands on everything that's inside the box. It must be important. Even if I don't know what she can do with it, I know well it's going to do wonderful things for our people. And that's about enough for this session. I should just save. And I will see you next time for more Princess Beastmaster or the Beastmaster something or other. The Beastmaster Princess, yes. Take care, have a lovely rest of the day. Bye now.